Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dear Mama. I'm so glad that you're here today because we're going to get into a conversation that's honest, raw, and so necessary. We're talking about having kids before marriage, the deep, often unspoken stigma that comes with being labeled a baby mama. This label, it's heavy, it's layered, and it comes with so many assumptions, side eyes, and whispered comments. It shows up in social media comments, family conversations, and cultural expectations, and in our own self-doubt. And today, we're unpacking all of it. So, if you're a mom, if you're thinking about becoming one, if you were raised to believe things had to happen in a certain order, I hope this episode brings you some comfort, clarity, and connection. Let's begin with what I like to call the social media Olympics. And if you've ever posted anything remotely personal, you already know what I mean. It's the moment when you share something deeply meaningful and joyful, like your growing baby bump, a sweet newborn photo, a gender reveal, or even just a quiet moment of reflection about motherhood. And all of a sudden, the comment section stops being a place of celebration and turns into a judgment arena. And it truly doesn't matter who you are, whether you're just sharing it with a few hundred close friends and family, or whether you're a celebrity with millions of followers. Once people see that baby, their opinions come rolling in like an avalanche of assumptions and expectations. It's wild how quickly joy can be overshadowed by strangers with strong opinions and zero context. Reactions range from fake curiosity to backhanded concern, and of course, the ever-present moral policing. Where's the ring? Wait, did she get married? Wow. No husband? She had a baby before the wedding? Not me. I could never. My standards are too high for that. I'm waiting for my dream job, my dream man, my mortgage approval, and my therapist's go ahead before I even consider having a child. And if you're sitting there just trying to share your moment, your joy, your truth, wishing people would just say congratulations, full stop, and keep it moving. But no, instead, your announcement becomes a stage for people to project their fears, their upbringing, their beliefs, or even their jealousy. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I wasn't always above all that. I used to be that girl too. I used to have those same exact thoughts, and I used to actually speak those words. I genuinely believed that motherhood had to come in a certain order. The ring first, then a wedding, then a home, then a baby. I had this perfect little sequence in my head, like a checklist where everything had a place and a purpose. I convinced myself that if I followed that order, I'd be safe from the chaos, safe from judgment, safe from shame. I believed in the fairy tale, not just because it was cute, but because it was what I'd been taught to believe was right, respectable, and honorable. I swore up and down, guys, that I would never be a baby mama. That would never be me, guys. Like, the way that I said this all of the time, like, that would never be me. I would get married first. I would get the ring. I would have the big wedding, the photos, all of it. Then I would get the house. And then maybe 1 to 2 years later, we would have the baby. And then we'd post those announcement photos. Guys, you know the announcement photos I'm talking about. Those ones that you see all over social media of the little baby onesies with a little plaque saying like baby and then your last name. 2020, whatever year you guys are having the baby in. That was my dream, guys. I had built this picture perfect life in my head. That was the plan. But sis, was I wrong? Because let me tell you, life has a way of humbling you in the gentlest and most hardest ways all at once. It doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't consult your vision board. It doesn't pause to check whether your timeline is ready. Life moves, love grows, and sometimes motherhood finds you before marriage does. And when it does, it doesn't mean that your story is broken or less worthy, even though people will try to make you feel that way. What it really means is that life is happening and you are living it. And the beauty, the love, the transformation that comes from that can't be measured by a ring. So here's my truth, not the filtered version, not the polished one, but the full uncut reality. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful, vibrant, hilarious, and deeply loved children. 3 little souls who have made me who I am, who stretch me daily, who have given me strength that I didn't know I had. I had them all before I ever got married. And now, yes, I'm engaged. We got engaged after our second child, and we've been together for almost 5 years now. We're currently planning a wedding, and we have every intention of sealing this love, this commitment in front of our families and our God. But as I speak to you today, I still don't have a marriage certificate. And some days, that fact, as much as I try to push it to the side, still stings a little. Because as much as I love my life, as full and as rich and wild and sacred as it is, there are still moments when a quiet voice creeps in asking, Is this how it was supposed to be? Did I mess up the order? Are you doing it wrong? And the hardest one, did you disappoint someone? Your family? Your faith? Yourself? And I want to be clear, that voice isn't there just because I regret anything. I don't regret my children. I don't regret my partner. I don't regret this path that brought me into the mother when it did. What that voice reflects is how deeply we've been conditioned to tie our value, our rightness, our respectability to a timeline that was written for us before we even got the chance to define womanhood for ourselves. And sometimes it feels like even when you're doing your best, when you're building a loving home, raising emotionally intelligent kids, working, growing, healing, staying, even then, it just feels like it's not enough unless it's wrapped up in a ring. But I'm learning to recognize that voice for what it is. Not truth, not intuition, but internalized pressure. It's culture, it's tradition, it's patriarchy, it's generational shame that gets passed down in the form of expectations. Because the truth is that I am doing this with my whole heart. My truth is that our home is full of love, loud laughter, and little feet and daily chaos and unshakable connection. My truth is that my partner shows up, not perfectly, not without mistakes, but he shows up. He shows up for me, for our children, for our life together. And that is sacred, with or without a ring. Let me tell you a different kind of shame. Not the loud, obvious kind, but the one that hangs in the air like static. The kind that you feel in your body before anyone says a word. The kind that lingers in rooms, one's being outright disrespectful, but you can feel you're being quietly judged. I remember being pregnant with my first child, walking into these hospital appointments, belly round and heart full of this new life growing inside of me. I was nervous, excited, vulnerable, hopeful, all the things you'd expect from a first-time mom. But what I didn't expect was how much the absence of a ring would change how I was treated. The midwives and doctors never outright said anything cruel. They were always polite, professional even, but their tone shifted. Their eyes lingered for a second too long on my left hand. There was always this pause, subtle, but unmistakable, right before they asked, "Will your partner be joining us?" Or "Is the father involved?" Or even questioning if my partner was there if he was the father of this child. Every time I sat on that cold exam table, I felt like I was silently measured, not for my blood pressure or the baby's growth, but for how closely I fit their idea of what a mother should be. And their unspoken judgment was deafening. I remember one day leaving an appointment, sitting in my car in the parking lot, thinking to myself, maybe I should just buy myself a cheap ring. Nothing flashy, just something I can wear on my finger to avoid the looks, the assumptions, the shame. Not because I was ashamed of who I was with, not because I doubted his love or our bond, but because I was just so tired of being made to feel like I was doing motherhood wrong. As if my value as a mother could be measured by the presence or the absence of a tiny piece of jewelry. And I know I'm not the only one who's ever felt like that. It's a silent pressure that follows you through doctors' offices, daycares, birthday parties, and family functions. It's exhausting. It's unfair. And it's so, so real. Now, let's talk about the term that really grinds my gears, baby mama. That phrase has become so casual, so normalized, that sometimes we often forget just how loaded it really is. It's not neutral. It's not light. It's not just a description. It's a judgment. It's said with a smirk. It's thrown around like an insult. It's used to reduce a woman to a stereotype, a caricature of dysfunction, chaos, drama, and irresponsibility. You hear baby mama and immediately assume there's court dates and custody battles, bitterness and brokenness, drama with the baby daddy, and children caught in the middle of it all. But what about the women like me? What about the women who are in loving, committed relationships? What about the women raising healthy, happy children, working jobs, building homes, showing up every single day with patience, grace, and fire? The baby mama label doesn't make room for our stories. It doesn't honor our labor, our sacrifices, or the quiet strength it takes to do what we do. It erases our fullness and paints us with a single narrow brush. And the double standard. God, guys, it's jarring. A woman has a baby outside of marriage and suddenly she's reckless, she's irresponsible, a cautionary tale. But a man does the same with multiple women, must I add, and he's praised for showing up. He's such a good dad. He's really involved with his kids. Sir, he posted one photo, picked up the child once this month, probably just picked up the child for the photo. We've made motherhood a performance women are expected to be perfect, while fatherhood is applauded for minimal effort. It's frustrating, and it's time that we called it out. If you come from an African background like me, then this pressure is more than just social. It's cultural. and it's deeply embedded in the fabric of our communities and families. In many African societies, having children before marriage is not simply seen as a personal choice or circumstance. It's often viewed as a disruption of the expected order, a breaking of unwritten rules that have been passed down from generations. The moment you become pregnant outside of marriage, the ripple effect begins. The aunties, you guys know, those aunties. They'll know before you even have a chance to tell your parents. Their whispers, sideways glances, and hushed conversations spread faster than wildfire. Your cousins start avoiding eye contact, acting as if you're carrying some kind of scandal or burden that could take the family name. The church ladies, they'll start praying loudly, publicly, and sometimes judgmentally for you, as if you've lost your way or committed some kind of moral failure. And it's not just the gossip, it's the meaning behind the gossip. It means that you've brought shame to your family. It means you've broken the chain of respectability and tradition. It means your parents carry the weight of your choice like a secret burden. Even if they love and support you in their own quiet, complicated ways, you feel like you've failed them. You feel like you've shattered dreams, dreams of white weddings, of traditional weddings, of perfect family photos, of generations honored and upheld. And that guilt doesn't stay quiet. It lodges itself deep in your chest. It follows you into rooms filled with family and friends. It weighs heavy during celebrations and holidays. It whispers that you could have done better. You should have waited. You are not enough. But here's the paradox. The very cultures that bring so much shame also teach us about resilience, endurance, and fierce strength. We learn to survive through the judgments. We learn to love through the whispers. We learn to build ourselves despite the pressure. So here we are, caught between honoring the tradition and forging our own truths, trying to survive, trying to thrive, and trying to raise our children with dignity and love. Let me be clear. I believe in marriage. I want it. I'm excited for mine. I believe in its beauty, its potential for deep connection, and its power to bless a union. But marriage isn't a magic fix. It's not a fairy tale ending that suddenly erases loneliness, anxiety, or exhaustion. It's not a shield that protects you from the challenges of parenthood or life's unpredictable storms. Some of the loneliest people I know are married themselves. Some of the most unsupported mothers have husbands who sleep beside them but don't really see them. And some of the strongest, most joyful mothers I know don't have a ring, and they feel loved and supported every single day. So let's stop pretending that a ring is the ultimate proof of worth or happiness. You can wear a ring and still feel like a single mother some days. You can have no ring and still be deeply, fiercely loved every single day. Marriage doesn't automatically solve the challenges of motherhood or life. It's what you build inside the marriage that counts. The love, the respect, and partnership don't come stamped on a certificate. They come from the choices that you make, the patience that you show, the commitment that you live every single day. Let me be honest and real with you guys. For a very, very long time, I hated the term baby mama. I hated that that was my label. I hated that that was all people saw of me. And I hated how quickly people were to use it about me. It made me feel less than in myself. It made me feel like I had ruined my life in some way. It made me feel like I had brought shame not only to myself, but also to my parents. And honestly, it stung. Hurt, and it dug its way deep into my heart, and that feeling stayed there for many, many years, guys. But honestly and truly, I am so proud of the life that I've built now. I am proud of the mother I am. I'm proud of the partner that I have chosen. It didn't happen the way that I imagined. It didn't follow a neat, tidy, by the book plan, but ours, messy, beautiful, imperfect, real. We've weathered storms together, some loud, some silent, put each other up when one of us needed it, and learned how to love in ways I never thought was possible. Now, as we prepare for our wedding, we've chosen to build a marriage that is rooted in love, true respect, and understanding, not just tradition or external expectations. I truly believe God is blessing this union, not because we did everything perfectly, but because we show up for each other day after day, through the hard and the easy. I'm learning to own my story, to hold it with pride rather than shame, to celebrate what we have rather than mourn what we don't. And I hope that you can do that too. So, what does family really mean? Is it about a piece of paper? Or a big ceremony with all the guests, the flowers, and the perfect dress? Or is it about the people who actually show up, who hold your hand through the sleepless nights, who carry you through the diaper changes, the school runs, the scraped knees, and broken hearts, who dream with you, who sacrifice with you, and who love you fiercely no matter what? For me, family is loud, sometimes chaotic, often messy, but always full of love, commitment, and resilience. It's about standing together, even when the world is whispering that you don't belong. It's about choosing each other again and again beyond legal documents and social expectations. That's family. That's love. That's real. So, if you've ever felt ashamed for how your story has unfolded, I see you. If you've ever been labeled, judged, or made to feel small, I hear you. You are not just a baby mama. You're a whole woman, a powerful mother, a beautiful soul. Your family is valid. Your story is holy. And you're allowed to be proud of what you built, even if it didn't come with a #perfect timeline. Marriage is wonderful, but it is not the only marker of worth. You are worthy now. You are loved now. You are doing amazing. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. This episode is really close to my heart, and I hope it brings you comfort, courage, and connection. If it resonated with you, please share it with another mama. Post it on your stories, tag Dear Mama, and let's keep these real, honest conversations going. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, love your children fiercely, and never let someone else's timeline define your worth. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.